Hello, and welcome back to another edition of the Vassals of Kingsgrave Soccercast. If you didn't know it, today is the day every England fan has dreamed of for 55 years. It is England versus Italy at Wembley in the final of the European Championships. And to review the semi-finals and get the hype going, I'm joined by Grandmaster Bing and our Queen in red and white, Bina.
I'm already wearing my Soccer shirt. I'm ready.
Yes. How are we feeling, guys?
I feel like I've been the most pro-England person on this podcast since the beginning of the tournament. I've been the most positive about the chances.
Well,
right?
not really, because Noah predicted they'd win, and you predicted.
That's true.
Yeah.
At the end, he did. Yes.
So
Yeah, a big U-turn that I am sticking to. So Bing's supremely confident, which is a perilous position to be in as an England fan, and
Said I'm an England fan, by the way.
Just clearing that up there before any of the listeners think any less of you. And Bina, are you? I mean, I'm toing and froing between terrified and the bathroom.
what I feel is it doesn't matter who wins. Like, I feel Italy has the big game experience. They've played incredibly well. They've gotten better. So they are the stronger team. I think despite home advantage, we're underdogs. But I feel it doesn't matter. If we win, that'll be obviously ridiculous and amazing. If we don't win, I don't care, because I feel that we've still achieved a great deal with a very young side. And the manner with which, not necessarily the fans at all time, but the manner with which the team has conducted itself, and Gareth Southgate, as a sort of a symbol of team unity, the team is bigger than the player. They seem to be having a lot of fun, and they've stood up for the values they believe in with, taking the knee as a united group, even though the fans booed them, I think is really inspirational. So we're winners either way. I'd love to win it, but I think we have to be fair and say Italy are probably marginally stronger. Well, not even marginally, properly stronger. And it's going to be a cracking game of football. Can't wait. But I'm going to watch it through gritted teeth and stamping around the room and leaving at points, because it's going to be absolutely petrifying the whole time.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, are you underdogs? You're at Wembley.
But that
Italy's not that much better than England. I mean, in terms of, especially when you look at the profile of the players, I think England probably is, and their players play at bigger teams. The recent Champions League was contested between two English teams. The richest teams in the world are all England. You look up and down the squad, you have players that play for Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, etc. If you just look at that, I don't think England should be underdogs. Having gotten this far,
it's marginal. It is marginal, the differences between the two teams. I think in terms of track record, I mean, Italy have a far better track record in finals and just silverware on the shelf than England do, no doubt. But
Sure.
Yeah, agreed. In terms of profile of player, it swings more towards England. But
like I always say, history shouldn't mean anything to these players.
Well, finally, for this England team, it seems like it doesn't. It seems like some of that has been shaken off,
What I would say to you, Bing, is that for other players, other teams, playing at home, I think, is a huge advantage. But I think for England, because in general, in national football, we hype it up and place so much pressure on our teams in a way that, I think I said at the start of this on one of our earliest soccer casts, my friend Alex Muscatelli saying, when he moved from Italy to here, like, we care about football, you guys go absolutely nuts. So I think it should be a home advantage. But I just think, can you imagine walking out to effectively, I don't know what proportion, but say 40 out of 60,000 fans at Wembley who are pro-England, knowing what it means to the nation, knowing that your national football song is all about how we've never won, and knowing how the Queen has sent you a telegram telling you that she's proud of you and go and do your best. I mean, I think the amount of pressure we pile on players, honestly, I reckon if you ask Gareth Southgate, he'd probably be happy playing the final in Baku, just away from all the hype.
I feel like the way of responsibility is I feel like because of two of your English, it can feel that way, but I mean, 2016 France, I don't know if the French had that much less responsibility to win it, and the fact that they lost wasn't any less of a disappointment. And if you and even like this tournament, in which like we look at how the French media absolutely tore the team apart, like basically revealing every single sordid details about the personal lives of all of their players after they lost. I don't know if it's that I don't know if it's that much different when you
Maybe
go
not.
around the world. I mean, if you okay, so here's a little bit of perspective. The Copa America just happened last night, and I was watching that. And that was between Argentina and Brazil, right? Dude, there's the fact that Lionel Messi and his Argentina team finally winning some sort of big international tournament
I
last
agree.
night. Is that
Messi,
any less?
arguably the
Yeah,
greatest player of all time, finally winning with his national team is indeed arguably bigger than if England won tonight, right? Because he is such a
right.
iconic
I
player.
mean, so
I agree.
there are pressure, right, that's exerted upon teams all over the world, depending on who they are. And sure, definitely England has a lot of pressure, given the fact they haven't won anything in such a long time. That said, people care a lot about football in England. People sure care a lot about football in Brazil and Argentina.
The difference is, isn't it, that England, you have tier one and tier two teams. Tier one teams are teams that have won stuff, right, in living memory. So Spain, Portugal, Italy, France, Germany, Brazil, Argentina. They've all won stuff in the
Denmark.
last, say,
Denmark,
decades.
yeah, Denmark,
Yeah. And then you have tier
Greece.
two teams, say, like Netherlands, people who were once great. And the problem with England is basically, if you looked at the track record, a tier two team that thinks it's a tier one
Yeah.
team. And I feel that that's the difference. They don't have the big game experience, that the pressure, for sure, Italian fans really want Italy to win. If it was in Rome, it would be insane. But it's not like the stakes are all in this match, because you don't know. It might be another bloody 55 years before you're in another major tournament final, right? So.
Maybe. Oh, like look at it. I mean, this current Italy team, the only big game experience most of these players have is failing to qualify for the World Cup.
True.
So Italy definitely turned it on. So I think ultimately it comes down to matchups, and because one thing you have to commend Gareth Southgate and Roberto Mancini for throughout this tournament is that they've been very good at man management. In managing expectations with the media and in managing their players and preparing them for every single game. Both teams are here mostly because of that more than anything else. Because they've certainly been outplayed throughout this tournament in various different junctures of this tournament, but they came out in the end.
And isn't that another reason to fear Italy? Because they have, I think Southgate is absolutely tremendous, but Italy arguably have the manager of the tournament.
Why can't Southgate also
Yeah.
be
The manager of the
the
tournament.
consider?
Maybe he
Yeah,
will be. And he's,
yeah,
he's been ballsy. Maybe we should get into reviewing the semi-finals, because that will give
sure.
us some of the courageous decisions that were taken. Should we start with Italy, Spain, I guess, given that went
Yes,
first?
the first game, Italy, Spain. Obviously, Italy triumphed eventually on penalties. It was a high octane encounter. I think ultimately the better team did win, but Spain's turnaround in this tournament is something they should be proud of. To pull it out from, I can't remember who they played, but that 0-0 awful game,
Sweden.
not a shot on target. Yeah. um, to kind of turn it around and get this far is against all expectations. But again, Spain are kind of that similar team to Italy. They either do very well or very badly. They did pretty well. Chiesa getting on the score sheet again. He's definitely
It's a
one of
problem.
Italy's best players, and he's someone we need to worry about tonight for sure. I think I'll be surprised if he doesn't start.
How big an advantage is it to England that Spinazzola's injured?
Huge,
Yeah.
because Emerson is not the same profile of player as Spinazzola. It's not so much like in terms of pure quality, Spinazzola is not much better, but like in terms of playing style, Spinazzola is so much. It's just different. Emerson just can't threaten England's defense like Spinazzola can. You saw that in the game. Emerson was kind of confused the entire game about what he should be doing.
I forgot he played for Chelsea.
Barely plays for Chelsea these days.
Did you guys catch the penalties?
Yes.
The heroics at the end, Donnarumma.
Right, so that's another problem that England has to deal with. I mean, I feel like Spain,
Arguably the best keeper of the tournament, right?
yeah, probably going to be very soon the best keeper in the world, I think.
Mm.
He's 22 years old.
That's
It's
amazing.
insane, isn't it?
He began starting games for AC Milan when he was 17.
Wow.
He has had AC Milan fans throw money at him because he wouldn't resign the contract. So I don't think he's really phased by anything at this point. So that's definitely going to be a hurdle for England having to overcome. That said, I feel like Spain outplayed Italy in the semifinal. I feel like Chiesa's goal was very much against the run of play, and I feel like if Spain had just a little bit more cutting edge up front and a little bit more stability in the defense, they probably should have won that game. I don't know if everyone agrees.
It was tight. It was tight.
Yeah, and you will find commentators who say that Spain deserved to win. They were the better team on the night. I mean, I know that's Roy Keane was saying that. We were just watching the coverage of you just rewatched the sort of post semi-final coverage. There are people who think Spain deserved to win. I didn't, but that is not an uncontroversial opinion.
No, not at all. I mean, a lot of people will see it went to penalties, and I don't agree with some people's perspective that penalties are a lottery. You know, it's something that you practice and train at. Manchester United play Leyton Orient, then on penalties, Manchester United should win because just the skill and the quality is there. You know, and Italy deserved to go through. They took the better penalties. But yeah, it was tight. It was very tight, and it could have been either way. I think I would have preferred to get Spain, but it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They're both decent teams, and I think ultimately in the final, the two teams who have consistently been at their best have made it through.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
That's true. I got very quick word about Spain, if I can. This team is going to be a threat going forward, coming through this tournament. I mean, coming in, there was a lot of question marks about the selections. It's a very young and very new team for Spain, right? Having now largely left behind their sort of the period of 2 Euros and 1 World Cup behind. I mean, it's a very up and down tournament, but I think a lot of their younger players had accrued a lot of very useful experience. Pedri, probably the player of the tournament. He is he still 18 right now or 19?
Yeah, 18.
And that's the thing. So like I think overall, England will probably be happy that will probably be happier playing Spain rather than Italy. But England doesn't have a player like Pedri at all. And the reason why Spain I feel like had the upper hand in their game against Italy is that they basically just completely erased Italy's midfield and just controlled the ball, and Pedri was integral to that.
He's so young. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know if England has the players to do the same thing as what Spain did.
Sadly, I think you could be right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have too much more to say about the Italy-Spain final. If there are any more thoughts on that semi-final, sorry. We got a sort of a boozy, euphoric, quick review after the semi-final, but we can always go over the glorious own goal and penalty again.
Glorious. That's what you describe it.
I mean, I don't think that was so much a review as an instant reaction. I don't think there was much biting analysis.
Absolutely
there
not.
ever is.
Absolutely not. Getting swept up in Sweet Carolina.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, it was probably the Spain-Italy game was the better of the two. I felt there were patches of real quality from both sides, England, Denmark, but it was tough watching at times, and England weren't at their best, which is the only thing that worries me going into this game. I think they haven't, if they've sort of improved progressively throughout the tournament, and I think this was the one game. Yes, we got the win. It wasn't the kind of performance that fills you with confidence. His distribution was horrendous. I'd have to look up a stat, but I cannot remember him completing a pass, like a long ball, or there were at least 2 or 3 occasions where he threw it to a Danish player in our half. And Sparta just gave them a break. I mean, it's a wonder that their goal came from a set piece. Fantastic goal that it was. It should have come from one of his errors.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, he will start tonight. There's no one else, and Southgate's not someone to shake it up that much. But I mean, all of those clean sheets and the great the defensive record in the tournament, hats off have to go to the defenders.
Mm.
I feel like Pickford has been playing good up to up until the last game. But of course, going into the tournament, there was a lot of question marks about Jordan Pickford. Those questions disappeared when Nick Pope got injured. Because the other two choices are teams that are goalies who play for teams that got relegated last season. I don't know. He had a wild season for Everton, which included him injuring Virgil van Dijk and taking him out for the entire season and the Euro, having some absolute howlers. But then he got steadied, his performance steadied towards the end of the season, and he's been good. But again, his club form has been spotty since the World Cup. But like, it's hard to say, like, one game, right? If you look at Spain's keeper Unai Simon, one game he's having a nightmare. But the next two games he's been pretty good. So just sort of pray that they don't fuck up.
So what would your prediction be for tonight? I asked, sadly, Sir Patrick the Tall can't be with us at this time slot. I did ask him what his prediction was, and he was like 1-1, and then Italy winning on penalties just because of match experience and talent.
I don't think this will go to penalties. I think this will be settled in normal time. I'm expecting a red card, and who that red card goes to will probably decide the game.
Who would your prime contenders be?
Calvin Phillips for a cheeky second yellow.
I mean, Giorgio Chiellini.
Do you think so? I think he's too crafty.
So you want to go over the matchups of the teams?
Yeah, let's do that.
England has the better striker, obviously. Sure, Immobile has
Noah, how do you feel about acknowledging that a Spurs player is, in fact, the better striker?
Well,
my husband just muttered under his breath, he's not a striker.
I mean, you
what
can
is
play,
he but a striker?
My husband's a gooner, Bing.
He's a top scorer in the Premier League. How many times over by this point?
You could play Bukayo Saka at false 9.
Yeah, if you want to lose this game.
Jesus Christ. After the season Arsenal decided, I never want to hear the phrase false 9 again in my life.
If you want to lose this game, sure. I mean, Harry Kane has certainly been better than Ciro Immobile since the knockout rounds. Immobile has not done anything other than falling down once against Belgium. And the options Italy have on the bench are even worse. So England definitely has an advantage over there, and that's one matchup England can sort of maybe think about. In that Italy's two central defenders are 36, what was Chiellini against 36, and 34 years old.
Yep, some creaky knees at the back.
And that's how Spain scored their goal, right? They sort of just cut through the middle, through Alvaro Morata. Well, and also whatever you want to say about Kane, he's certainly better than Alvaro Morata.
That he is.
Midfield, that's a little bit of worry, right? Because
agreed.
Especially if Southgate sticks to the same lineup and puts out Rice and Phillips again.
There was some talk about Henderson starting, but I'm not sure that really shakes things up too much.
Do you think who's on a yellow card affect this?
Not really. I mean, it's hard to predict. I don't think Rice and Phillips have historically been players that attract cards. Rice did pick up a yellow in the last game, and that was sort of Rice's worst game so far in the tournament, I feel like, right? So that said, I don't know, you shake things up that much, you take Rice off for Henderson, or you take, I don't know, if there's a switch that's to be made, it's probably Phillips off for Henderson.
Yeah, agreed. Rice has been solid, and he screens that back four well. I think he does need to make a change in there. I thought the midfield was almost non-existent at times against Denmark. It was, a back six and a front four, and that's kind of the link wasn't there. And I would say a big problem was Mason Mount. I don't think he should be starting another game. His performances haven't warranted that. When you see Bukayo Saka, who was the most, for the first, well, I don't know when he came off, about the 65th minute, let's say, coming off for Grealish, and then I would have preferred to see Mount come off, Grealish through the middle, perhaps. I think I just want him to give Saka more time because he's always, every time he's played, he has been lively.
Right, I think the problem with why he keeps taking Saka off is because he sort of run out of steam by 60 minutes, and which is part of credit to Saka because he sort of runs up and down, basically runs his lungs out up and down the pitch, defending and attacking for the team, and why he's starting. But I feel like usually the reason why he's the one who gets taken off is because he's the one who's the first. Basically, every single sub that Southgate has been making this entire tournament is more based on fitness and also squad integrity rather than changing things up.
That strikes me as hollow though. Like I mean, I agree that is probably what Southgate is thinking. But I mean, Saka played more minutes for Arsenal than any other player in the. I think Leno excluded.
Maybe that's
he
the
played
problem.
the most.
But then does he come to the tournament knackered then?
Yeah.
But then so does Kane, so does Sterling, so do all these players who have played tons and tons of domestic football.
That's the thing though, when I look at Sterling, he doesn't seem to get tired at all.
I know.
That's how England.
I don't know if he's on Scooby Snacks. He was insane in the extra time of the last match, just carried on just running. I was like, and that's really the only advantage England has is younger, fitter players, right?
Well, fitness, definitely. And I don't know what Southgate has done in terms of conditioning with these players, but that was how England won that game. Basically, they outlasted Denmark, which I think Patrick is here, so maybe he can attest to that.
Yes, welcome, Mr. The Tall.
Well, hey guys. Well, yeah, one of the things there, they had better stamina. That's I'm sure England might have won no matter what happened on the penalty there, just on pure stamina, that's for sure. That's why, I mean, especially right after, I wasn't really that upset about what happened. So I think England has these. Yeah, Sterling is really good at running, and Walker is a champ.
Yeah.
Those two will probably be the deciding factor. I actually think, because I don't know. Yeah, I think Kane is great and he does a lot of good things. But if Italy is smart enough, they'll do something about him. But they still can't do anything about the defense powerhouse that Walker is.
It's going to be a great battle today, Kane versus Chiellini.
Yeah,
I love Chiellini's attitude though. Right, he just comes out smiling the entire tournament now. I'm just so happy.
I do have some admiration for how he was with Jordi Alba before the penalties were taken.
Fucking his mind up.
Yeah, absolutely fucking with him, getting his hands and rummaging around in there. It's hard not to like him, but if he pulls any of that crap today,
which he will.
Hopefully he's got it all. Oh, of course he will. Of course he will. Absolutely. That's my worry. That's why I say there's going to be a red card, is because of the Italian shithousery combined with the English aggression, pumped up, we're going to fucking do this and drag it home attitude.
I don't see any David Luiz on England right now, thankfully.
Don't know. We've not got that idiot ref from the Danish game, have we?
I feel like that idiot ref won you that game.
No, it's another Dutchman, but not that one.
Bjorn Kuipers.
Excellent. Yeah. And I think you'll find, Bing, that it was the lovely person running VAR that day who
was also Dutch.
No, I feel like that ref in the Denmark game, he gave the penalty, and VAR just couldn't overturn it because there was sort of contact, although Sterling.
There was two times.
Let's not talk about that.
I mean, when you look at the I also feel England would have won anyway. I just think they were the better team on the night. So I think
they were definitely the better team.
I get upset. Like I was saying this to my husband. Like when you get a match, even in cricket, where a bad decision changed the result that was evidently going to happen, then I get really upset about it, and I would feel worse as an England fan if I didn't think we were going to win anyway. So I don't think this fundamentally turned around the match.
I think Peter Schmeichel said. I think Peter Schmeichel said it as well. He said that it's the circumstances that really pisses people off. I think that if you had a lot of England had a lot of chances, really good chances to finishing things off anyways.
Yeah.
But they decided the match on a iffy situation, and that sort of pisses people off. Also, all the other things that happened in the match also doesn't make it, easier to swallow for us Danes. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, to be fair, like because we didn't do a review of it, like the fact that the fans were booing the Danish national anthem, the fact that some absolute, I won't use the swear word, was putting a laser pointer in Schmeichel's face. It's not our finest hour as a host nation for sure. And I do feel if it had dragged through to penalties, you guys would have won because Schmeichel would have just outsaved our goal. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean that's I think that's consensus in general. It's just how many feelings do you have connected to that situation, and I think that's what differs really. But in any case, it doesn't matter. We got what, £23,000, or you got £23,000 in penalty in fines.
Yep.
Wow. The average footballer is really going to feel that, right? I mean,
the FA. What's the FA going to do with that fine? Oh no!
Oh my God!
They'll just sell a seat in the box in Wembley.
Justice. I think that's what you would call that.
Sure.
I do completely agree with Bina. I think we just should make a point that it's deplorable behaviour. We all get excited about this and pumped up and everything, but yeah, the behaviour was shocking. No respect shown during the national anthem.
I mean, it's ridiculous that our manager has to appeal to the public not to do it against Italy. Gary Lineker did the same. It's ridiculous. And, there was a really funny meme video I sent around this morning of like this Italian fan saying, please don't attack Italian independent businesses in England after the match, and go ahead and attack Pizza Express and people who put pineapples on their pizza instead. But you can see it happening. That's the tragedy. You can legitimately see drunken arseholing fans going after Italian businesses. It just brings, it's such a beautiful moment of, national pride. And then there's always the sort of, 15% who have to be twats. And it's annoying.
No, I completely agree. There's a few Italian businesses, like nice little family-run delis and stuff around here. And you do worry for it. You do worry.
I'd be boarded up if I were one of those. I really would. I mean, I really fear for Bar Italia in Soho, which is kind of an institution. And it's draped in Italian flags. And I just feel, and I know a lot of people are going down there to watch it. And you just think, you wouldn't want to be them, would you? On the streets of Soho at 11 at night, regardless of the result.
Yeah, they should just target the bad ones, the bad Italian restaurants.
Well, that's what they were saying. This funny video was saying target the chain restaurants who put pineapple pizza. They gave a list of businesses it's permissible to attack on behalf of Italians for sacrilege against Italian cuisine. So
these guys suck.
Also, the Italian national anthem is a banger, so you should probably just listen to it.
It's hilarious. It's just brilliant. It happens, and you think it's over, and then it just carries on with a little key change. Yeah, as my husband just pointed out, they don't start singing for a minute. It's just brilliant. It's such good value. It's like the Italian military uniform. The shitter a country's military, the better the uniform. Like the more sort of over the top and florid and gold Brady. So I always have a soft spot.
The higher the kicks when you march.
Exactly, the comedy military walks.
Oh yeah, but no, the match today is going to be, I think, because you have maybe not equally matched, but differently. They will compensate for each other, these two teams, and I think that it'll probably be a 1-1 sort of situation. Also, maybe a lot of the players are not as fit as they were in the beginning or middle of this tournament. So I think maybe we will see a slightly more subdued match if it goes all the way to penalties. Judging by how Pickford acted last time, I think that if he feels the pressure again today, he will, not bring it, basically. And that's...
I mean, never mind even Pickford. I mean, Harry Kane missing the penalty. I mean, he got it in on a rebound, but the nerves were evidently getting to him too.
Yeah.
He has never missed a penalty against Arsenal, and he fucking chooses then to miss it. And honestly, my nan could have put a more convincing effort, on goal than that.
Yeah. Against Kasper Schmeichel, yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, you can place it in a corner, and all Kasper had to do was fall to one side.
Well, he did, and then Kane took it and finished it off. So to be honest, that's not where that's not where we have the beef, really. And he did a fine penalty because it went in the goal, right? So that's the most important part.
Yeah, and fair play to him for not mentioning, moaning about the laser thing. Easy to bring that up and blame that, but top professional Kasper Schmeichel.
I mean, it is hilarious watching the sort of the post-match reaction from various teams and kind of various sets of supporters and supporters podcasts, that it does feel that the Danes took it very graciously, the whole package of that match and everything that went wrong. And yet you'd be watching like the sort of the Spanish footballing press basically accusing UEFA of being in a conspiracy with England to have to award us the final. It feels like the Spanish are way more bitter than the Danes, and I don't really understand why.
Well, the Spanish have are more used to winning.
Yeah, but it was
anything,
it was like QAnon level stuff. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, but I mean, and also they have this very insular media culture. Basically, Marca is basically Real Madrid's mouthpiece. But also, I feel if any team that got screwed by UEFA was Denmark, because they had to travel all the way from Baku to London.
Agreed.
And really, that's what did Denmark in, having to play at Baku.
Should just hold the next one in Pyongyang.
Pretty much, the next one is in Qatar.
2026, here we come.
But let's be fair to the four teams that were all in the semi-finals. They all played all of their group matches at home, right? So
yes,
I don't think anyone can really complain, even if there was a trip to Baku.
It's fine.
And neither were the Danish complaining. In fairness, with everyone else.
And again, grace and style deserved the respect that they've gained in this tournament, and all the best going forward.
I had I read an article from a journalist that said something about like it was basically probably the best way Denmark could have gotten out, because now we have like something to be a bit angry about, a bit miffed about and stuff like that, instead of maybe just losing to Italy, petering out like that. And
that is quite funny.
So we actually have a story now to say, well, we probably would have won if it hadn't been for all that shit.
Exactly.
So I think it's fine. There's a lot of things that I hope that doesn't happen again against Italy. But well, whatever. It's just football, right?
No, it's life.
Definitely. For some people.
Not in England today.
You have no idea. If England win or lose, well, if we win, the euphoria for the next 55 years is just...
I mean, I almost hope we don't win, because we will be unbearable. And those players, I mean, they'll just be destroyed. I mean, like the hype, the publicity. Really? Someone like Saka, their head will be totally turned. I mean, it will be ridiculous. I mean, obviously, I want us to win, so I'll take that all back. But we will be the most unbearable nation on the planet for the next 2 years. My husband's muttering, "We already are." We're not. Our entire football is about how we're losers. It's about how we're losers.
I agree. I agree with your husband. My name, brother.
Your namesake, yeah. Exactly.
I think that I simply just don't understand the song. It's coming home. When? I mean, I'm just saying.
So,
what? I don't understand it.
In defense of that song, right? That song's ironic. It's more about
very ironic.
England keep failing, and the coming home part is England literally staging a tournament in 1996.
Okay. So, but
it's a very misunderstood song, I would
say. So why doesn't people say it ironically anymore?
We do say it ironically.
A lot of people.
And I think that, in fairness, like the "it's coming home" thing, like we did invent football. I mean, that's not a lie. So it's not that we have to win something to bring it home. We originated it as a game. Oh dear. But it's a song about how we're losers. So I think when people think we're singing it in some kind of like, jingoistic, rah, we're amazing way. I mean, we really are the only nation on earth who could like glorify ourselves in a sports song about how shit we are. And they'll be destroyed if we actually win, because that song will have no meaning. I mean, it becomes pointless at that point.
Oh well, I mean, losing a song versus actually winning a tournament.
It's a very good song, but we'll still have World in Motion and Vindaloo. So
right, sure.
We have a rich tradition in football songs.
Anyways, back to the game.
Back to the game.
I feel like
Actually, I'll take this moment. While we're slagging off UEFA. I'm gonna get a few jabs in here.
Go on.
Go on then.
Because
Vent, Noah.
how fucking dare they put the European Championship final on 8 o'clock on a Sunday? On a fucking Sunday! They've just written off millions and billions of pounds of GDP for tomorrow because the country's going to be in fucking shambles. No one is going to turn up to work sober tomorrow. And who is it benefiting? The goddamn Americans.
yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Bing.
I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I'm watching the Gold Cup tonight. Watching the US take on Martinique.
You're gonna watch US versus Martinique rather than the UEFA final.
It's coming after the final. It's 8 o'clock on our time.
How does it make sense? How does it make sense? It's a European tournament, and it's at a time that benefits America.
Well,
They don't have good football over there. They need ours.
Yeah, well, they can fucking stay up late or whatever. Screw them.
No, it's sad, Noah. It's sad. We need to. It's like sending aid. It's saying sending foreign aid, sort of like.
if keep complaining, we'll make up another Super League.
Do it.
I'm going to start my own tournament, and it's going to be on at a reasonable time, and it's going to be perfectly situated so that we can drink and not have to worry about work in the morning.
What's this going to be called? The Reasonable Cup?
The unemployed cup, my husband say.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like, no kids are going in school tomorrow. Every kid's staying up late. If it goes to extra time and penalties, I will immediately email my exec. I already cancelled. Someone had the audacity to put a 9 o'clock catch up in my diary for tomorrow. I was like, well, that's not happening. Especially if it's on video.
I've got 9:30 and it's going to be painful.
If we win, I'm just cancelling all meetings until the afternoon at minimum, if not the day, because that's what I've worked my entire life for to get to this age, is to be in the position of power whereby if England win a major tournament, I don't have to work the next day. It's all led to this moment.
Well, some of us have just started a new job and have German bosses.
At least not Italian. That would be a bit spicy.
Yeah, it would be. Although at least they'd be just as hungover. Should we do our predictions? Go round.
I sort of already did mine.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 1-1, and then probably Italy going to win on penalties. Sorry.
I guess
the one for the Italians. Bing?
I guess I've been pro England in terms of, at least in terms of their team.
Yeah, you are.
This. I'll go with England 1-0 in extra time. Just outlasting the Italians in terms of picks.
Bina?
I think it will be 2-1 to Italy, and there will be a red card which Italy will incite, but it will fall on us. Like
Extra time?
No, I think open full normal time.
I agree. Red card, 2-1 normal time, but England are going to take it.
Ooh.
Good spread.
Okay, good for you. Philip thinks it's going to be 2-1 to Italy, but we score first, just to get our hopes up, just to tease us. That's the words of a man.
I can tell you that stings. I can tell you that's
cynical. Yeah. Patrick the Doll speaks from experience here.
What, that wound hasn't healed yet?
It's only been 4 days.
Feels like it's been a year since that game. Oh. We split down the middle.
Yeah. I've been through several stages of grief already, so I feel like we're out on the acceptance part now. But yeah, 2-1. Yeah, that also sounds fair. If Italy manages to get it before extended time, that's probably also. But no, I'm sticking to the 1-1. I think. All
right. Well, I think we're split down the middle on that one. So we shall have to see. Any more?
Once again, congratulations to Messi and Argentina for finally winning something.
Yeah.
Sure, he likes playing in light blue, so we'll see him in the Premier League next year, probably.
Yeah, if Barcelona do go bankrupt, which is kind of high likelihood they could.
Jesus. Okay.
Well, I am going to start stress eating soon, accompanied with stress drinking. I'm not sure when we'll be able to do a follow-up. Perhaps a quick screaming whilst running round North London afterwards.
Yeah, we can do a little 10-minute reaction either way. I think it's only fair. We took our glory when we won, so if we lose, we should express our pain as well. If we win, obviously it'll just be insane.
Yeah, I can't even imagine it. Wednesday was crazy enough. It's going to be chaos. Hopefully mostly the good kind though.
Cool. All right, boys. Well, enjoy.
It's coming home, Vindaloo. We're scoring one more than you. All of that.
I wish I had that.
And you just gotta. Irrational confidence is what we need right now.
What do you think it's like in the camp? What do you think the players do? You're 4 hours ahead of the biggest game of your life.
Going to the toilet, shitting themselves, literally.
Playing air hockey, I don't know.
What do you think the Italians do? Because I feel the Italians would be calmer and more confident.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's a long wait. It is a long wait. An 8 o'clock kickoff. It would have taken a while. I mean, Southgate's been brilliant, keeping the spirits up. So we'll have to see if it's worked again. I'm confident no matter what team he picks, it will be the right team. Just depends on all of the stuff we've got.
Oh, I know, it's coming home.
Oh, I really hope so.
All right then, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Patrick, who are you supporting?
Who am I supporting? I'm supporting England, but I think Italy's gonna win.
Bing, who are you supporting?
I haven't supported any team in this tournament. I continue to watch with an interested eye.
Well, you should put a tenner on England to win, and then that'll get you off the sofa if someone scores.
I never bet on sports.
He wouldn't even do fantasy league.
Yeah, true.
Me neither. I don't.
Well,
but yeah,
we'll have to get you in for the Premier League one in a month.
Nope. Okay, well, see you guys later, maybe.
Yeah, we'll try and do a quick round-up call at the end.
Yeah.
Have fun.
All right, all the best, guys.
Bye.
Bye.